All right, here we go. It's another fun-filled burn barrel. I'm going to have to give you my sound because you won't have sound from the beginning of the show today.
I thought we couldn't have sound anymore.
What do you mean? No, I mean you won't have audio of us talking from the beginning of the show.
I don't care. I mean, no, we don't need this. This is just for Patreon people.
Well, I mean, sure, but we might start talking about something here before your computer's back
I'm
up.
not going to. I'm going to talk about nothing. I'll let you talk, though.
Why are you going to talk about nothing?
Well, today is a...
Are you on break today?
No, not whatsoever.
Okay.
I'm just running behind because we didn't... I get out of that place at like 6:50, and then...
Like 5:50?
Oh, 5:50, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like racing, and plus I had to go get your cold burst for you.
That's not true. That's
right
inaccurate.
Right before Sober October Eve,
That's
Alice.
inaccurate.
What are you doing for Sober October?
I'm not drinking for Sober October. What are you doing for Sober October?
As usual, not drinking.
Mm-hmm. Just like every Sober October.
Correct.
You, I think. So
All
anyway,
coming back.
My favorite thing that you sent me is this story because I meant to talk about this the other day and then I forgot. Is that all the stuff about Jeffrey Dahmer and the Netflix documentary and how like they removed the LGBT label from the show? I mean, first of all, why did they label it LGBT?
I don't know. Is that a category? I mean, I wouldn't think that's the thing that stands out about him, but I mean, it was a factor.
No, I know it was a factor, but it's not like I would think that
Do I count?
in the LGBT...
Do you want me to count at some point?
No, we're already on.
We're already on.
This is the show. It's already happening.
Well, I'm starting the audio starts. Just think, all you audio people, you missed everything up until now.
No,
Welcome to Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel again, everybody. And I wanted to bring up the story about Jeffrey Dahmer. Alice, let me pass it to you.
Stop.
What? I'm starting the audio show.
Okay. So anyway, Netflix has this show about Jeffrey Dahmer, which means that a whole bunch of young people have now just for the first time discovered that there was a person named Jeffrey Dahmer and that he existed and all of that. So that means a number of things. One is that apparently Netflix, I wouldn't know this because I canceled my Netflix because they're degenerates. They put Jeffrey Dahmer in the LGBT category, which I would imagine is films like Brokeback Mountain are in there and like other things. And then like...
I'd have that in Cowboys.
You just happen upon the Jeff Dahmer documentary.
That's great.
It's like a different type of story somehow. I'm not sure that's exactly like the place you'd put it. But after an outcry... they've decided to remove it from the LGBT category, which seems advisable now that I think about it.
Couldn't he be in the dining category too?
I guess. I mean, right there with what's the other one they had? The like salt, fat, acid, heat one that they did. I think it's right there, right? It's
I don't know.
Cooking technique. It's a show about cooking.
Oh, I don't know. I'm eating right now, as a matter of fact, cream of chicken soup.
Oh, I thought you would be having your lo mein.
I already whacked it out. That's one of the reasons I'm late.
Okay.
I just got to eat this now, guys. I hate to be a jerk, but Alice, go right ahead.
So another thing about this is that apparently because now young people have discovered Dahmer because Netflix made a documentary and they can't know anything unless Netflix makes a documentary about it, is that there's been an outcry now that a bunch of people have referenced Dahmer in their song lyrics. So, which is like very offensive and unkind to the victims, young people have discovered after years of liking, a Katy Perry song where somebody says,
yeah, what could possibly be the context?
So let's see. They said it's romanticizing Jeffrey Dahmer. She eats your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, that's...
So they were fine with the lyric, but now they know who Jeffrey Dahmer is, so now it's a problem. So she's being asked to revisit her very insensitive song that she wrote like 10 years ago or whatever.
But also, I don't know that the issue was that Jeffrey Dahmer was figuratively eating somebody's heart out. And I don't think she's talking about cannibalism, so I don't think she's using it right anyway. Mm-hmm. But what a massively moronic thing to write. I'm glad that's the lyric.
It's like a rapper who's in the song who says it. I mean, I don't think
okay.
Katy Perry came up with
well,
it
the rappers
personally.
have stupid rhymes all the time. They only
I didn't
have
know
so
who
many
Jeffrey
choices.
Dahmer was until last week, said one Twitter user. But now, knowing what he did, Juicy J is sick for making people, especially little kids, sing that man's name. And Katy Perry is also sick for allowing that lyric in her song.
Our kids still sing, I believe I can fly.
Well, they don't know anything about that.
I know, but the people in the room know.
Mm-hmm. Still upsets me when I hear that line in the song Dark Horse. It's easy then, just don't listen to the song Dark Horse.
Oh man, that would avoid that would leave in their life though. If you can't listen to Katy Perry, the rap break. Imagine that. The rap break in a Katy Perry song is something that is must listening for somebody. My suggestion to them is that if you need to really enjoy the rap break in the Katy Perry song, that you should think about feeding yourself into a tree shredder.
But yeah, there's apparently a few people have one. There's another song in it that has the lyrics. She's a beast. Yeah, no, she's a beast. I call her Karma. She eats your heart like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Doesn't rhyme.
And then
Karma and Dahmer don't rhyme.
They don't at all.
Rap sucks so bad.
Kesha also had a song where she mentioned him. In her 2010 song Cannibals, she sings, "Be too sweet and you'll be a goner. Yeah, I'll pull a Jeffrey Dahmer."
God damn it, you people! Somebody learn how to rhyme for frig's sake. God.
So yeah, I mean, it just shows they're on these very serious issues, and but they didn't know who Jeffrey Dahmer. There was no way to know who Jeffrey Dahmer was until Netflix.
What Jeffrey Dahmer did is less offensive than those lyrics we just heard. I'm on record.
That's a bold take.
I'm on record saying that. It's true.
That's a bold take. I guess Eminem's referenced him too. But out of all the things Eminem says, that's what you're going to be offended by?
I'm going to expect at least Eminem to be able to rhyme. What does he make?
Let me find this article didn't have his lyric. It just mentioned him. But yeah, I mean, out of all the things, let me see. The song is called "Must Be the Ganja," so I'm guessing. Okay. I don't know.
Does Ganja and Dahmer rhyme?
I don't know. I also see the words Dalai Lama in here, so. Let's see. I'm admitting I'm beginning to feel like I don't think anyone's real. Faced with a dilemma, I can be Dalai Lama and be calm or bring drama a step beyond Jeffrey Dahmer.
Doesn't rhyme.
Again. And then Mama.
Alice, what's the opposite?
At least.
Hold on. What's the opposite of more nervous?
Nervouser?
No.
Less nervous?
Okay. What's the opposite of more stormier?
I don't know. Wait.
The seas were stormier. Say now the seas were. What's the opposite?
Less stormy?
Yeah, less stormy rhymes with Jeffrey Dahmer, not calmer, Alice. Forget it. You too. This is ridiculous. This has been.
I'm confused.
What an outrage!
Oh, well,
we need some proper rhymes of Jeffrey Dahmer on the chat.
Send in your
proper rhymes.
Send in your Dahmer lyric submissions.
How come all of them missed? It's remarkable. You don't get to use Dahmer unless you're going to rhyme it, and it can't be close.
Calmer also doesn't rhyme because it has an L.
But do you pronounce the L in Calmer?
Yes. Just like you pronounce the R in February.
Well, then Dahmer can't be rhymed with. And nobody should ever use it. Why don't they go with Jeff?
Do people know it's Jeff? If you say, I'm going to eat your heart out like Jeff?
Yes.
I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Do you mind if we move away
yes, we
from
can move.
From LGBT category of the show today?
Yes.
I have come around on that karate. That was fantastic.
You're now pro karate?
I am very pro in this karate. They do. By the way, you see that we got an email from the school?
Oh, about Health Day and the deodorants?
Yes.
Yes, I saw that. So do you think there were other inquiries about it? Because
well, I mean, I didn't solicit that. Somebody reached out to me because it was in the podcast.
That's funny. But yeah,
so I wonder. Is it possible, Alice, that this whole town listens to this?
John Stewart says, Dahmer, I hardly knew her.
You know what? At least it's not a try and fail on just having a straight up Dahmer rhyme.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's not a total disgrace.
So, I mean, you could also just leave your Jeffrey Dahmer references at home, generally speaking.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to know how somebody eats somebody's heart out?
I don't know.
So yes, so the school is listening in now. So we've got moles listening all over town. School's listening. Thank you very much, elementary school of this particular town. I appreciate.
Things could be worse. Did you see what's going on in the town we used to live in at their school department?
Oh yeah, they spent $2 million all over budget in Melrose.
Yeah, they went $2 million over budget last year, and they didn't notice until this summer.
I figured they would have saved money when they stopped decentralizing Halloween. They're de-emphasizing Halloween. That's what they did last year. That was her Butenglagen the
Oktoberfest?
No, Butenglagen Gluggen. The
Kukenberger?
Yes, that's right.
The superintendent.
Yes.
So she had to go to the school committee last night and announce that the reason, because the school committee's been asking, how come we haven't closed out our 2022 fiscal year budget? Because the 2022 fiscal year budget ends, in the summer of this year. And they haven't closed it out because they don't have enough money to close it out, because they spent $2 million more than the budget that they got approved by the city at the beginning of the year.
So
they didn't realize that they did.
What's it? It's Kukenberger?
Kukenberger.
K-U-K?
Mm-hmm.
K-U-C-K?
No, Kukenberger, I believe. Anyway, so she was already a disgrace for trying to cancel Halloween. She's been through a bunch of school districts. Turtle Boy has documented this. And she had to go to the school committee, who was shocked and horrified. And they cleared out every possible revolving account. The school has revolving accounts that run over. If you're the swim team and you don't use your whole busing budget, you can roll it over into the next year, whatever. They cleared out every account they have that has a rollover budget to try and pay it. So now they're down to $750,000 that they have to come up with and go back to the city so that they can they can close their books.
I hope they can't plow this year.
Snow days cost them money. That was part of the problem, because they had so many teacher call outs because of COVID, because they had such long mandatory COVID absence policies. Teachers had to stay out 10 days after getting COVID. So they had
Here's Kukenberger from last year.
I just wanted to say a few words about Halloween. I have received tons of emails and media requests. I've been doing my best to reply to as many as possible, but I know that I haven't had a chance to reach everyone. The one thing I wanted to say is that we're not canceling Halloween. We're not saying that Halloween's not a valid celebration for families. I myself celebrate Halloween outside of school with my family, as do many of our educators. Our intent here is just to make sure that we're not centering everything that we do during the fall season around Halloween alone.
So they're canceling Halloween, which is what they did. She's trying to tell you that she's not, because as usual, when one of these people on the left does something offensive and they get caught, they act like she's a victim, and we're not doing the thing at all. But yes, they don't do Halloween in that school anymore because it's not inclusive enough, because some people may not know, and the sheer shock of having a Halloween when somebody's new to it could be very harmful to them. So
how's the DEI budget doing, by the way?
Our staff to think critically about what we celebrate in our schools and why, how we utilize our school day to its maximum potential, and also how we celebrate and have joyful activities with our students. We know that all of those things are important as we work to build community. So Halloween's not banned. We're not saying you can't say Halloween or read books about Halloween or even do Halloween crafts. What we are saying is that we're not going to center everything that we do during the fall around one particular holiday.
In other words, no more Halloween.
Yeah.
But it's not banned. You can still say it. Oh, absolutely. No, we're not teaching CRT. No. That's a college. That's a law school construct.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know what that is,
yes,
I don't think. You have no idea.
You and your privilege have no idea what that is. So she is what I believe could probably be categorized as, if properly investigated, what we would call a psychotic.
Yeah, and an incompetent psychotic, because she couldn't figure out how to stay even remotely within the school budget.
That's great.
And I'm sure they found money for plenty of diversity and equity activities all over the place that they could do during the year. I'm sure those were not on the chopping block. But like, you know, I understand that sometimes there's not as much money for the schools as certain people would want there to be, even though there's plenty of money for the schools, but there's not as much as some people want to have. Yeah. You can't just spend more than the town approves for you, though. That's not the way to go about getting the more money, because that leads to like pretty serious legal problems. Like, what if the city just said no?
Well, what happens?
Well, I mean, they default on some of their things, and that like affects the credit rating of the city and all this stuff. But you've been put into this position of trust where you're in charge of managing the budget for the taxpayers who've entrusted you to that. Like, not only do you get paid by them, but you're in charge of running the city budget, or this chunk of the city budget, which really is like half of the city budget of most of the towns.
I believe we need a statewide, if not federal, investigation. I think that these people get DEA funds, right?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't think, to be clear, I don't think anybody...
NEA. DPA, Department of Education.
DOE?
DOE, yeah.
Okay. But I don't think that anybody stole anything necessarily.
I don't care.
I just think they're
the
grossly incompetent. I mean, they had to hire, city had to hire a law firm. That's not cheap. To like go through the books and help advise that.
That most hurt by this are marginalized Melrosians. And because they're the most hurt, that's not equity, as far as I can tell. And I would like some civil rights people in there as well.
Yep. Morgan says it's DIE. Oh, I'm frozen again, apparently. This camera's terrible. But...
You're frozen again?
Yes.
Well, you're the pretty one, so why don't you take the good camera?
We'll switch cameras this week. Anyway, so you can be frozen more often.
Why don't we get a new camera? Are we going to make a capital investment in our equipment? We need to talk about that, too.
Okay. And I think we need to switch off our hosting platform this weekend as well.
I completely agree.
However,
I was listening to a podcast today that definitely has fewer downloads than we have, that is chock-a-block with advertisements.
Okay.
And what's his name? Who's my friend? Noah Rothman has free lemon trees in his yard. I want some lemon trees.
Where does he live?
New Jersey.
How can he have lemon?
He
must bring them in the winter or something in a pot.
No, he has some kind of trees because they have a good deal with the tree person.
Well, anyway.
And we need to reach out to
I
our
was
guy
going to say DIA. I am. DIE, yes, it's diversity,
and you
inclusion,
saw somebody
equity.
wants to look at our roof.
Also, and somebody wants to look at our roof. True.
I apologize to everybody, by the way. We're so effing busy. I thought about this today, and we should talk about this at some point.
I literally haven't stopped today.
Yeah, it's been a total cluster F. That's why I was late. We've been going. So
but anyway, nobody wants to hear this.
Yes, they do. But we have to. We need a blanket apologize to everybody who are not getting back to, who want to advertise.
Okay.
Well, now's the time to do it because we know they listen to this.
Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
I forgot the name of the behavioral coffee shop. Do you remember?
I reached out to him.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alice, aren't you good? And then the guy with the roofing, because it rains in our kitchen now. And I forgot his name too. So I'll have to remember.
Go look through your email.
I'll look through my email at some point. I can't do it now. I got Cannibals, Kukenberger, and Karate on my mind. So, Karate was fantastic today. They were. Oh, it was. The sensei is excellent. The place that we go to is called Five Dragons in Amesbury. Let me tell you. I love it. There is discipline dished out in that class, and I absolutely love it. Today the kids were down on the ground doing push-ups and all sorts of great stuff, and it was excellent. And even so far our son hasn't been some kids just go sideways and they're you can see that the sensei catches them and sees them, and it's like, oh man, it's coming to you, kid, you're getting it. And today even our kid was distracted and was not, but there's one of the things they do is they get the kids to focus. But it's fun, and plus they sometimes allow you to grab it. Maybe I shouldn't have said the name because this doesn't sound right, but this is what the part I love is they allow you to do exercises where you can hit the kid with a thing, But it's
soft
a
thing.
nerfy thing, yes, exactly. But still, I mean, I put a little something on it when I'm with my son because it's just a great outlet for me. But it's part of the exercise. Anyway, so I'm thrilled with it. That place is fantastic. It is definitely. They were so on point today. These kids were loud, standing tall. They were great. A lot of these kids are kids who just a month ago, had trouble concentrating, and they have snapped to. It is a great. It's a great place. I've been convinced. I was not convinced at the very beginning. I am convinced now.
Great. We'll have to get into watching karate things.
Yeah, I would. I think I would. I don't really like UFC, but
well, there's that new Karate Kid reboot thing. No, people like that. Anyway, so what did you have something else that you wanted to get to, or is this my show today?
Well, I wanted to get to the fact that you and I need to change our lives. First of all, we have.
Well, that's every day. That's not really.
Well, I
breaking.
know, but like, it's to continue. This doesn't work. We got to figure out. We have to do the podcast full time or something, which is why we need to redouble our efforts. What I'm just saying is not this doesn't work, but there are too many. There are too many things. There's only two of us, and like days like today where I'm flat out and you're flat out, this stuff just encroaches on us all over the place. We could have a staff of 2 full-time people in this house to clean and cook and do laundry and take care of the stuff outside, and they'd be slammed. This is just way too much. And like, I guess we could task the kids with doing more stuff, which I guess we could. But I mean, they do some stuff. I mean, they can vacuum and they can empty a dishwasher. But,
sort of.
Yeah, but it's not like hired help.
Okay. So, are you all set now?
There's a referral. My Odyssey email blocks out pitches and solicitations to me, which is not ideal because I'm in the content business, so I want pitches and solicitations.
Right.
But there's a referral program now for Awaken 180. So before you guys get on Awaken 180, I'm down 30 pounds, though. Do you know that, Alice?
I've heard.
If you want to, then come see Tom Shattuck here. I got a deal
Speaking
for you.
of which, I just got approved for another 4 weeks of Awaken 180.
You did?
Yes.
Well, that's great. I was going to have you be in the spot today. So there, you're glomming on again?
I know. I get to do 4 more weeks.
The funny thing is...
They tried to cut me off, but I'm addicted.
That's great. That is great. Okay, so let me see. What was the other one? This is you. Here's me. Let me go to the other email and say... there's a roofing guy who does roofs who's been looking at us. I think I do have more. You saw the Congress pass the bill, the CR, continuing resolution. Manchin is such a bitch, man. That dude is sayonara. He is gone.
Yeah, that's a really bad look, I would say.
They took his stuff out of there, so which means he screws West Virginia, because all the charcoal crap, whatever he wanted, he screws West Virginia, and they screw West Virginia again because they passed the inflation climate bill. What is he thinking for a guy who, he stood up to everything, and the kayakers around his houseboat and everything. He stood up to all the psychos.
Yeah. I will tell you, it feels like we're at a little bit of a turning point. Because, like, did you see? So, what do you know about John Keller? What do you feel about John Keller?
He's a dickhead. John Keller of Channel 4, WBZ? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a renowned dickhead.
Well, listen to this. This is from CBS Boston. There's an accompanying video, but it has a pre-roll, so I'm not going to
He had an issue with him when Herald Radio first opened
but
up.
listen to this. This is why I say I feel like we could be at a little bit of a tipping point with some of this stuff, especially like the green energy and the climate stuff, when energy costs are so, so high. And we're going into a really bad winter in Massachusetts especially. The prices are high.
They call Keller two-shot. In other words, he always wants to be in the shot with the principal he's interviewing because he likes to see John Keller in his mustache.
Well, so here, Keller at large writes, next Massachusetts governor will face electricity cost crisis. Boston, remember the snowpocalypse winter of 2015 that greeted newly elected Governor Charlie Baker? The next governor will face a crisis of their own. Electricity costs that will send your utility bills soaring, and GOP candidate Jeff Deal sees an opportunity to draw a contrast. We're at an energy crisis right now, he says. Maura Healey's solution to all this is to create a finance plan with your energy provider, basically to borrow money to heat your home this winter if you can't afford it. The Healey campaign declined an on-camera response, but in a statement blamed big fossil fuel companies for getting us into this mess and said she would pursue federal aid and a waiver of a federal law that restricts domestic shipping of natural gas. Deal said Maura Healey is proud to talk about blocking 2 natural gas pipelines into our state which feed manufacturing and home heating. And now, out of the quote, and that's true. During a WBUR forum on environmental issues last spring, Healey bragged about it. And while experts we spoke with say the war in Ukraine is at the heart of our energy crunch, they said the regional pipeline constraints are a part of the problem. A Healey spokesperson said the candidate believes clean energy is the way out of this mess and says over-reliance on natural gas has left us vulnerable, but Deal says she's all wrong. We need to utilize free market solutions for energy, keep all energy options in the portfolio, he says. Renewable energy, while we want to have it, can't possibly provide all the power for commercial and residential buildings and run every vehicle in the state. So who's got the upper hand in this argument? Even here in Massachusetts, one of the most environmentally aware states in the nation, the environment ranks low in polls of what voters think are the most important issues, and the cost of living ranks high. Deal made a point of saying that he supports pursuing renewable energy sources like wind and solar, and Healey is always careful to express concern with economic anxiety. But in the video of Deal's press conference, we noticed he was asked if Trump will come here to campaign for him. Deal's ability to get traction remains hampered by that political affiliation. But I think that's a pretty favorable article to be written about Jeff Deal.
Well, I guess so. But Channel 4 has working class people who have to pay heating bills, so I think that it's a smart article, and she just happens to be collateral damage.
Yeah, but they could have gone in there and said, the thing is the Putin's price hike and the war in Ukraine, and it has nothing to do with the pipelines, and that's absurd, and Deal is ridiculous. They could have gone that route, and they didn't. Because they could have parroted her campaign's talking points.
By the way, I texted Jeff Deal. I know he's a busy guy, but I texted him.
Yes.
And I have not received a return text. So this is my question. If his handler is handling his phone, let Jeff know I made a query. I understand that he's working in Massachusetts right now, but it could be a smart idea. I'm just saying. Could be a smart idea.
So true. So true. I can do some outreach too. I know some people too.
I don't need him, but he might be able to. He should take advantage.
Indeed, but I thought
I'm just surprised that I'm very friendly with him. I'm just surprised, and I just hope that somewhere along the line the team isn't broken.
But Jeff Deal's been so much so written off as a joke. His campaign is out of money, frankly. If some of the people, certain moderate Republican businessmen showed that they wanted to burn a lot of money on gubernatorial campaigns, they could very easily do some of that, but they chose to do it in a different way.
I thought Jeff had allies like that, doesn't he?
No.
Or are they not?
Jeff doesn't really. That's the problem, is that all the big money in the state was generally with Baker, and Baker turned off the spigot pretty much. He said, forget it.
Rick Green?
He's not like Baker's people.
Oh, okay.
Not like
Salvatore?
That. Yeah.
That guy? I don't know who any of these people are. I'm so removed from Massachusetts. Although it's funny, I had the guy running for Senate in Vermont, Malloy, on again today. It's like the second time in 2 weeks. He was good last time.
Yeah, there was a poll that had him within 7 points too, which was amazing.
He's good, and it's funny because he's been hustling. He's been on Howie's show, which is I'm sure maybe more than Jeff Deal has at this point. And he's been just working the talk radio people, working people in Vermont. It's very interesting. I hope he can win. Who knows? He's being outspent too. He's got $80,000, and the other person has $2 million.
The last campaign report I checked, Jeff Deal had $16,000. I mean, he raised more than that, but he spent it on stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's out there. I think he's doing a lot, but it's an uphill battle when your campaign doesn't have money. Although there was a poll that showed him winning independents, which you like have to do in this state because they're more than half the state. I just don't really know. You know, it's very tough because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, people decide it's unwinnable, so they don't invest time or money or energy into it, and then it becomes not winnable because nobody invests time or money or energy into it. But, you know, I sure hope he has a chance. I mean, but those are the issues. It's stuff like that, like energy costs, that are the winning issue here. It's the inflation. It's the home heating this winter, which is going to get ugly. It's like it's things like that, because that's real to people. Like, trans bathroom stuff is not real to most people. It doesn't affect most people. Whether or not you can pay your...
Well, although that's part of the parents' choice thing in schools, though.
Oh, yeah, totally. But in Massachusetts, I think there are more parents who are for trans stuff in schools than not.
Yeah.
I think there are more liberal parents.
Ziggy Robinson says, have you ever been to Riverside Pizza in Groveland between Pentucket Middle School and the bridge to Haverhill? The answer is yes, under the old management, which was fine, and then the new management, which I think we quite liked, actually, recently. So, yeah, I like them over there.
We can't eat pizza, though.
Yeah, we're out of the pizza biz right now. I've been to DeLeo's in Amesbury. It had been our go-to. Definitely, I kind of like a lot. I like a lot about that place. They do a fine job. I have not found pizza up here that has been life changing. Meanwhile, like he's just sent me a picture.
Don't look at pictures of the pizza. Don't look at pictures of the pizza. It's not good for you.
But I think it stinks now. Oh, he doesn't like it. They messed up multiple owners and are trying to say this is a chicken parm pizza. Yeah. What are we even doing with the chicken parm pizza? For God's sakes! Plus, it looks very doughy.
Did you see that Taylor Lawrence called herself the Bob Woodward of the TikTok generation?
I did. Is it? Maybe it's helpful that she has no self-realization. Maybe it's a good thing. I mean, she obviously, I would also say, is a person who is a psychotic.
Yeah, she's nuts.
Yeah. Ooh, hold on now.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. There are psychotics, then there are psychotics.
Are you going to play Jacinda?
The kind I like, Alice.
You know, I think it's important to state that that abortion is an economic issue. Forcing poor and working class people to give birth against their will, against their consent, against their ability to provide for themselves or a child is a profound economic issue, and it's certainly a way to keep a workforce basically conscripted to large-scale employers and to employers to be...
You know what? I love her because she's hot as hell and is as dumb as the dumbest attractive freshman in every university.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really dumb.
She's great. What else did you want me to play?
Your New Zealand Prime Minister is in there further up the
her
thread too. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, she's completely wrong about this. There's a reason why corporations are paying their employees to get abortions and not paying for childcare. Hello, like the corporations like the abortion. They're on your side on this one. Is there any big corporation that hasn't endorsed abortion all over the place and talked about how they're standing up for women's rights and said they're going to pay for people to go out of state to get abortions? You're on the side of the corporations on this one, my friend.
Oh, here she is. This is my Jacinda Ardern, the
Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Very, very attractive fascist from New Zealand.
This week we launched an initiative alongside companies and non-profits to help improve research and understanding of how a person's online experiences are curated by automated processes. This will also be important in understanding more about mis- and disinformation online, a challenge that we must, as leaders, address. Sadly, I think it's easy to dismiss this problem as one in the margins. I can certainly understand the desire to leave it to someone else. As leaders, we're rightly concerned that even the most light touch approaches to disinformation could be misinterpreted as being hostile to the values of free speech that we value so highly. But while I cannot tell you today what the answer is to this challenge, I can say with complete certainty that we cannot ignore it. To do so poses an equal threat to the norms we all value. After all, how do you successfully end a war if people are led to believe the reason for its existence is not only legal but noble? How do you tackle climate change if people do not believe it exists? How do you ensure the human rights of others are upheld when they are subjected to hateful and dangerous rhetoric and ideology?
Yeah,
The
how can
weapons
you
may be
possibly?
different, but the goals of those who perpetuate them is often the same: to cause chaos and reduce the ability of others to defend themselves, to disband communities, to collapse the collective strength of countries who work together. But we have an opportunity here to ensure that these particular weapons of war do not become an established part of warfare.
See?
In these times,
I'm
acutely aware of how easy
Morgan says
it
I'm
is
prettier
to feel
than her.
disheartened.
Meh.
We are facing many battles on many fronts.
She
But there
wants
is
your
cause
YouTube
for
channel
optimism.
banned, Tom.
Because for every new weapon we face, there is a new tool to overcome
She
it.
wants to ban your
For
YouTube
every
channel.
attempt to push the world into chaos,
But that's still
is
banned,
a
isn't it?
collective conviction
Yeah, we're still
to
not
bring
on
us back
YouTube.
to order.
I think we have
We
like
have
4
the
days left
means.
before we're allowed
We
back.
just need
What
the
is it about
collective
attractive
will.
fascist women? Like this lady and Wu Train.
And AOC, I mean, she's just
Yeah.
not in enough personal power. Yeah.
I'm
Why
all-
do you like it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I must be into S&M or
Restrictions
something.
on free speech?
I must be into S&M with like ball gag things and something. I must be into it. I guess.
Well, anyway, yeah, we're still
anybody's
not on
into-
YouTube. Did you see that California, by the way, has a law going? They're trying to pass this law that, like, you lose your medical license if you're a doctor and you tell your patients COVID misinformation. I mean, it's really actually, like, I joke, but it's dangerous. And she's dangerous. And AOC's dangerous. I mean, they're all, like, they can't be allowed near the levers of power. You can't let people like that run things.
True.
They're crazy and out of control.
Ziggy Robinson likes Nick's place too. We like Nick's too. Obviously, we can't go there. But
Anyway, I wanted to revisit Lizzo briefly too.
Uh-huh.
Because there's like a lot of leftists on Twitter who are like extremely gleeful about this and saying like, ha ha, see, we have a fat black woman twerking with something that belonged to the man who made up the 3/5 compromise. Ha ha, see the symbolism. Like, and your buddy Ellie Mistal, the one who's always on
Yeah, the guy with the
MSNBC.
stupid hair, yeah.
He goes, if any of James Madison's descendants is offended by Lizzo wanting to try out the 200-year-old iron, if is offended by Lizzo wants to try out the 200-year-old iron collar white folks would have fixed to our ancestors who tried to escape James Madison's clutches, I'm sure somebody at the National Museum of African American History could hook you up.
Hey, stupid hair, you should go on the health plan that I'm on. As a matter of fact, you could drop some weight. That'll be good for you, and I can get a reference. I'll give you a kickback.
Yeah, I mean, they also were. Did you know that the person who's running the National Archives or wherever they got the stupid flute is also a historic first?
Are they? Oh, I'm shocked.
So it's also a
Really?
woman of color. So it's all symbolism all the way down. So
Excellent. All I
but-
can tell you is that the historic first black lesbian press secretary is just aces. They are great. You know what they said during the press briefing today, Els?
What did they say during?
Nothing. They didn't hold one.
Oh, well.
Because they're having trouble fielding questions about the president searching audiences for dead people.
I would say that was an odd moment. For
So
sure.
it has been scrapped.
And your good friend thinks it's normal, actually.
Oh, George Takei, who I've talked to on 2 occasions.
Not just George Takei, but
Dan
who's it?
Kennedy.
Dan Kennedy.
Oh, get Dan
Says
Kennedy.
it's totally
Dan
understandable
Kennedy and John
fine.
Keller belong to each other. Oh, that is perfect. My goodness. So Dan Kennedy is He is an unintelligent human being. He's also a panty waist, and he's also a milquetoast faux reporter who doesn't know anything about being a reporter. He famously put up a great blog post about how when the Freedom Rally was coming to Boston, the racist rally, how he brought his reporter's kit, his real reporter's notebook, and he brought $40 bail money for when he got arrested. And he brought
For doing what?
Oh, he's a badass. Who knows what gonzo journalism he was going to get involved in? And he was just such a fruitcake.
Is $40 even enough bail money if you?
He's such a perfect fruitcake, and he's got a guy like in his avatar. You can his cat's in the background. It's like, you are such a cat person. Stay away from the fracas, okay?
But yeah, he
is the worst.
He tweeted, I recently wished a happy birthday to a Facebook friend, not a close acquaintance, who had died. And when someone pointed it out to me, I remembered. Seems pretty normal to me. So, did you happen to be physically at an event where you were about to meet the dead person's family to memorialize them for the fact that they had died? Because if that's the case, that would seem normal. But
that's fine. But the great thing is that this guy teaches journalism to students at Northeastern University. Congratulations, Northeastern. Excellent hire. Excellent hire. Northeastern University, by the way, Alice, the only university to first defer, then accept for admission Thomas Winchetick. I had an in. I had the in most of all ins. The guy who was headed up the admissions department. Yep. But I chose to go out and tackle the world, and here I am, Alice. Here I am. Podcast king of this part of the house. Can you pretend to listen?
I am. I'm sending you one more thing.
Be more impressed with the things I say.
You're the podcast king, honey.
Days that Sean Keller made an analogy 2 weeks ago during Martha's Vineyard. He said, this is the equivalent of Charlie Baker sending unvaccinated people to Florida. Like, that didn't effectively happen. Jesus.
And then, so I think we're getting close. I wonder if we have chat messages, but I do want you to play one more thing before we check the chat.
Yes.
Which is, I saw this on Twitter today. Vice made a piece all about reintegrating sex offenders into society.
Yeah, I think this has a swear in it, but fine.
It might. You can clean it up. It's fine.
Okay.
And they, this was their interview with the sex offenders.
We all out here in this world, and we all got to make it happen, and ain't nothing stopping me. So, I'm very hopeful and confident.
After this interview, Ashif sent a picture of his penis to our producer.
Kinda like him.
Maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason we don't reintegrate the sex offenders.
All right. Ready? For the chat?
I'm ready for the chat.
Dude. Hold on. This has been a seat of our pants show. I kind of like it. You look lovely in red.
Thank you.
You look good. Oh, my brother said Tuesday Burn Barrel was hilarious. It did.
I don't remember which one.
What
was
could
Tuesday.
that have been? Tuesday. What was that? Today's Thursday. What was Tuesday? That's good to know because I don't remember it whatsoever. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take these calls right here. Okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, a little off topic here, but
this is Josh K. I think I know who this is.
I'm seeking some advice and need you to settle something for me. So is it okay or not to put a sensor, like a little Simply Safe open-close sensor on the closet door in the bathroom? It's got a little sibling gaslighting going on here, and just looking for your wisdom.
On the closet door
of the bathroom.
So wait a second.
What are you trying to detect?
You don't mean he doesn't mean the cabinet thing where the drugs would be, because I used to date a woman who would rifle through that when she went to anybody's house that we visited.
A linen closet.
And what would you put there?
I don't know. Maybe you would put something else in there.
Well, Simply Safe does what?
Simply Safe is like an equivalent to like Arlo. They do like home security systems.
Oh, I see. So you're trying to look at naked people.
No, I don't think he said a camera.
Josh,
he said
I
a
need
sensor.
some info.
Yeah, we don't fully understand this situation. So
I'm incomplete.
But in general, I don't think you should put security devices in the bathroom, but I'm not sure. Possibly there's some context I'm not understanding. It's not a camera, though, right, Josh? I wouldn't think. I guess we'll see. So,
Hold on.
yeah, I don't know my thoughts on that at this point in time. But in general, the law does say that people do have an expectation of privacy in a bathroom generally. But I would think as long as it's not recording equipment, there's nothing like explicitly wrong with it. It's just, but I'm trying to understand what you would like to detect.
I know.
I
have a friend. Let me tell you something, Josh. I have a friend who got into, about 20 years ago, I found out after the fact, by the way, filming areas where women may be naked.
Yeah, that's frowned upon mostly.
That's frowned upon.
That's a way to end up in the documentary about sex offenders being rehabilitated.
Well, he wasn't a sex offender, but he
yes,
was
putting hidden cameras where women are naked makes you a sex offender.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not guilty of it. Doesn't mean. Thank God. I could. But his thing was that once you start that, it's very hard to stop. Was his? Yeah. Anyway.
Because you're a pervert.
I didn't do it.
No, I mean, if one does that, one is a pervert. Okay, is that better? Morgan says, Josh, it's a ghost. So.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Hey, Tom, remember me? I'm your imaginary friend from when you were a wee little lad.
Is that true?
Remember all the fun we used to have?
Oh, God.
I think
remember
this
that
is going somewhere
brick
weird.
you threw the storefront window, all the glass shattering, all the confusion and chaos. Hey, remember that time you tied up that little girl?
Okay. I get you. Okay. I don't remember that. I actually don't think I ever threw a brick through a building either.
Maybe it's a reference to something.
A few of us were drunk at a golf course one time, and one kid chucked a brick through the window of the
Maybe
clubhouse.
that was
him. No, that kid was a jerk, too. I gotta find him. I owe him some revenge, as a matter of fact.
So the first time I was in Vegas, I stayed at the Excalibur. Pretty nice hotel. But you have to go up the escalator to get to the food court.
All right.
And I stopped at a Krispy Kreme because I was hankering for some glazed donuts at the time. And right across from it was a theater that was called Thunder from Down Under. And at that time, a bachelorette party broke out after the end of the show. And they were they were heavily drunk.
Ooh.
And they came up to me and started talking about how hot those guys were and stuff. And I'm just standing here in line, just wanting to get my donuts. And they got pretty graphic. And and I told the lady, I go, I just want some donuts.
That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I would have been afraid to be in that line with a bunch of attractive co-eds.
Is this from Josh? Is this an update?
It is from Josh. Okay, he says, not to be named, told me people were breaking into my closet to steal my gout meds because I freaked out that some were missing. So I decided to put a sensor up after the roofers used the bathroom. Then he called me mentally unstable for putting a security device in the bathroom. I don't think it's... Oh, well, here's the thing. I don't think that you're mentally unstable for doing it. I would tell you... So what if your girlfriend's attractive friend uses your shower and that camera catches her compromised?
Is it a camera or just a sensor to see when it opens?
Who has that kind of sensor?
I don't know.
I assume it's good. The problem is he strong enough to not look at that footage?
I don't think he has a girlfriend right now.
Well, that's really not the
Well,
point
so
of the
maybe that's not
question.
a concern for him then.
Is he strong enough not to look at the footage if there's a naked woman on his security camera?
Is there gonna be?
I
think that's
I
relevant.
guarantee you, most of the people listening right now and listening later, most of the men, not me, because I have moral standing, but most of the men would say, hell yes, I'm going to look at the footage.
Okay. But maybe that's not a risk at his place.
Uh-huh. It's a risk.
I don't think it's a
Get rid of
camera.
it. Get rid of it.
Hey, Alice and Tom. This is Dana from Maine. I'm
Hey,
actually
Dana.
in
Hi, Dana.
Massachusetts today, which is terrible.
Correct.
But anyways, Ned Lamont. I'm friends with him. He's actually, what a nice guy. He's so smart on baseball. It was a great recommendation the other day. He actually had another one. He thinks that if at the end of 9 innings there's a tie, that the game should start all over again. So that the fans don't have to wonder, how long is this game going to be? What do you guys think about that? Let me know.
I think not a bad idea whatsoever. I think not a bad idea. I thought the Lamont thing was intelligent. And he was
Last
right.
night I tuned in to watch Aaron Judge see if he could break Roger Maris's home run record. Instead, I saw the Toronto Blue Jays walk him 4 straight times. Nothing more boring than watching a home run hitter get walked over and over again. New rule. Let's try this out. You walk a slugger like Aaron Judge once, he takes first base. You walk him twice in the same game, he gets first base and second.
I like how he keeps going. You walk him 3 times, he gets third base.
So we don't get the idea.
But the thing is, he's doing like this intellectual victory march, showing us. Yeah, you see how I think, a business thing. I think that's a great idea. I think we should restart the game after 9 innings.
That's both of those are symptomatic of people that are used to spitballing in marketing meetings.
I know, but
and
that's
are told there are no dumb ideas and throw things out there.
But you say that in a marketing meeting, and anybody who knows anything about baseball is going to say, "What the hell is possibly going on in your mind?"
But a lot of the ideas people throw out in marketing meetings are as dumb as that, just in different fields.
Ugh.
That's what you get for telling
Hey,
people
Tom and
there's no
Alice,
dumb
Mike
ideas.
and Groveland here.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
It took me a little bit to kind of put my finger on this, but I think Joe Biden is actually morphing into Aunt Bethany from Christmas Vacation.
Oh.
Is Rusty still in the Navy? And for a fat musician, great guitar player, Leslie West from Mountain. Anyways, keep up the great work, guys.
What did they do? Mississippi Queen? Mississippi Queen? What is Mountain?
I don't know what that is.
I'll look him up. Leslie West. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of messages on fat musicians.
Hey, Tom.
All right. Let's see.
Hey, Tom.
Oh, it's
hey,
Mike.
Alice. Hope you like my rendition of the Bruce Springsteen song yesterday.
That's the bike board in the barn. All right. Ready for Dan?
I'm ready.
Hey, Tom and Alice. It's the former Danny and Bill Ricca.
Hey, Dan.
Hope you guys are doing well.
What do you mean the former? What's going on? Where'd
I
you
don't
go?
know. Did you call him Tommy and Bill Ricca last time?
Did I call him? Maybe I did.
At one point you called him
But
Tommy.
maybe he moved out of Bill Ricca. Maybe he's out of state.
Hey, Tom and Alice. It's the former Danny and Bill Ricca. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while. I've been on the road pretty much all of the month of September, so I fell way behind on everything.
Oh.
And when I kind of turned back up again from under my rock, I found that Tom had become a big KMS star. Some pretty exciting stuff.
So true.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool.
It was
and
cool.
Just like Tom, as you're prone to do, maybe bring up items 10, 12 months after they happened. I'm sure there's a few things I'd like to revisit. I'm going to compare some notes with Tim and Canton, get back to you on some things. But
good.
I think one thing that went lost in all of this was your episode with Anthony DiLorenzo, who I thought did a very nice job.
Oh, yeah.
But Alice telling him that everyone needs to get married after a year of dating. That might be the craziest thing I've heard all month. Thank goodness, Alice. Anyway,
Yeah.
peace out.
Yeah, well, just so you know, Dan, it took us less than a year. We had like 6
I said
kids
engaged.
after a year and a half.
You should get engaged within a year.
You know what? I'm fine.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody gets married, it means somebody has a party somewhere, and there's a small chance that we could go to it, right?
Yeah, I'm pro everybody getting married. Speaking of marriage, Mackenzie Scott, formerly Mrs. Jeff Bezos, is getting divorced again.
Oh, yeah.
So now that guy's going to get a quarter of Jeff Bezos'
Ooh.
stuff, I guess. So, yeah.
Ooh.
So, and then when they both get divorced again, presumably. But I do think that says more about her. Like, if you get divorced and then you get divorced again that quickly, that's like, that reflects on you a
that
little
marriage
bit.
could have been a stick it to Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just realized.
Or she could be toxic and crazy.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Great week of shows, I thought. We had a lot of fun. I'm going to listen to Tuesday's show, and my brother said it was funny. Josh, I'm glad we could help you with your surveillance cameras.
It's not surveillance. Morgan says it's just two magnets that alert you if the door was open and closed.
Mm.
I don't think it's crazy.
Do you want to know if somebody's going into the closet? It's better you just don't know. It's better you just don't know.
Well, I did read a whole thing one time.
Ugh, bet you did.
Where somebody thought like people were moving things and like leaving weird notes around their apartment and all this stuff. And like it was this whole thing. And they posted on Reddit about it. And somebody said, put in a carbon monoxide detector. Because like confusion and not remembering stuff is a symptom of like low grade carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
And the apartment was full of carbon monoxide, and they'd like been leaving notes for themselves around and like doing stuff and not remembering it. And they thought they like somebody was breaking in, and they were like going crazy. But it turned out it was
creepy.
just carbon monoxide poisoning.
How creepy. Well,
that's your PSA for the day. Have carbon monoxide detectors.
Yeah, get those checked like we do. As a matter
every
of fact.
When are you supposed to do it? When you change your clocks, right?
That's right. That's what I do.
That's when I do it.
Thank you all for the Patreon.
Thank you, Patreon people, and for joining us on these lives. I like doing it every day now.
Alice, good on you for sharing your recipe with everybody.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, but those people that get to have pizza and stuff, I don't get to have that. So this is...
So you don't want them to know about the zoodles?
Yeah, correct. This is proprietary, just for me. Don't let these people have
I won't tell them.
pleasure while I'm having pain.
You're not having pain. You're happy.
I'm having pain.
You're happy. You're having a good time.
I look good, though.
You enjoy the zucchini.
I look good in the karate mirror today. I thought, you know what? I look a tad skinnier.
I think you look a tad skinnier.
Don't you?
I do think so.
All right, everybody. See you later.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. If you want to join us for the live shows, you can do so at patreon.com/burnbarrel. And you can always listen to and watch the shows for free, not on YouTube because we're still kicked off there, but on Rumble. I'm fully caught up on putting the videos back on Rumble. And anywhere else you like to listen to podcasts.
Why do the Monica and Earl glasses have boxing gloves?
Because they got married on Boxing Day. Your daughter realized that. She said, do they have boxing gloves because they got married on Boxing Day?
But is Boxing Day
about it's a pun.
Boxing? Oh, it is?
Yes.
I'm going to take it up with them.
And I said,
Had
yes,
I known,
it is.
I would have.
Sally said, I noticed they got married on Boxing Days. That why there are boxing gloves? And I said, that's so smart of you, but, you know.
Had I known, I would have protested during the ceremony when they asked the crowd if anybody has a problem with it.
You would have stepped forward. Boxing Day is not about boxing gloves. Excuse me.
I hereby dissolve this matrimony. All right. Now goodbye. It's hard to say goodbye when there's no music. You notice that?
It is hard to say goodbye.
All right. See ya. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.